What's up, everybody? Tuned in to Jamming Out All Badass with me, Francisco. Episode 15, if you're counting, if you keep track. It's been awesome. Been awesome doing these. I mention it all the time. We'll play the intro again at the end, Oscar or Danilo, sorry. But yeah, welcome. This is the first time watching any of these episodes. I appreciate you tuning in. If you've been here before, appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate everybody's support. Still got a lot of these more to go, but today got Cannibal Cam coming on here a little bit. What's up, Erica? Here shortly. But again, thanks everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Just a couple of mentions. I don't know if y'all seen the promos, like the little promo that I uploaded. Actually, my buddy Greg Beal, thanks to him, he uploaded it on his channel, and seemed to help the show out. So thanks, Greg. Maybe getting some new people on here. Greg Beal, if you're not familiar with his channel, I mention it all the time. He's got the best shit, new stuff, old stuff, punk, hardcore, metal, death metal, black metal, all kinds of shit. Check out Greg's channel. If you haven't checked it out, subscribe to his channel too. Tell you he's got the best shit. And also, again, Rosalinda of Texas Metal Concerts, who helped me put that together. And this is a little flyer for Texas Metal Concerts, showing them a little support. It's a website, has a calendar for all hard rock, heavy metal concerts coming through the state of Texas. Not only just Houston, but all over Texas. So if you're a Texan tuning in, check out that website. It's www.txmetalconcerts.com. And you'll find out about upcoming shows. It's cool that somebody's doing that. You can go to one place and find out. They do a pretty good job with that. When shows start popping up, that's the place to go. Also, they have a page, a YouTube page, TX Metal Concerts. Also, you need to check out. It's got live shows. Even has a video of me in there. So playing live with Oath of Cruelty. But yeah, check them out. Texas Metal Concerts. Appreciate the support from them. And also Greg Beal. Also got some shows coming up I'd like to tell y'all about. This Wednesday, the one and only Mike freaking Browning. Currently in Nocturnus AD, was in Nocturnus, Incubus, the evil Incubus from Florida, Morbid Angel. It's going to be awesome, man. Obviously, I like all the shit he does. So this Wednesday, episode 16, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And now it's cool because you can a YouTube channel is a little easier to find. Now it's just youtube.com and my name, which probably isn't that easy to spell, but it's better than youtube.com/KRLP102071, whatever, So I actually have a URL that's easier to get out there. So, help promote the show, tell everybody about it. But yeah, man, Mike fucking Browning. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. Damn, I can't believe he's going to be on here. So, and then, let me see what's after that. And then Saturday, this one's going to be cool too. They're all cool. I don't know if you guys remember Filthy Christians put out an album out on Earache Records back in '89. It's Per Tunnel from Filthy Christians, a vocalist, will be on next Saturday. It's going to be an early start. He's in Sweden, so got started at 1 p.m. next Saturday. Uh, that's really psyched about that one. And check out these flyers are getting a little better, right? Got the logos on there and shit. Still doing them on my phone, but hey, they're getting better. So yeah, next Saturday, 1 p.m. Here Texas time, 2 p.m. Eastern. I believe that's like 8 o'clock in Sweden, if I remember correctly. But yeah, Filthy Christians. He was also in Protest Bent, and he's got a kind of new band now called Sex Dwarf. Really like noisy punk hardcore, along the lines of all the old Swedish hardcore. If you're a fan of the old Swedish hardcore, it's real noisy. So his new band's no different. But yeah, shut up, Fraser. But yeah, check him out. Check him out. Uh, Also today, let's talk a little bit about this gentleman right here, Ronnie James Dio. Rest in peace. This year, what has it been? 11 years already? Holy shit! He actually passed away in Houston, right here in Houston, hospital in Houston. It's kind of wild. But yeah, he was in a hospital in Houston up to his last breath. But what's y'all's favorite Dio stuff? I mean, I love Rainbow and his solo project and the stuff with he did with Sabbath and all that stuff. Songs like Stargazer, Man on the Silver Mountain. I mean, Dio, We Rock, Stand Up and Shout, Sabbath. Um, what's it? Fuck, I can't remember the name of the song. It's on Mob Rules, heaviest song ever. Uh, but yeah, Ronnie James Dio. So let's get some chat going. What's y'all's favorite Ronnie James Dio stuff? Do a little tribute to Ronnie James Dio here, real quick. Uh, Dio rules, no doubt about it. Okay, Ronnie James Dio. So yeah, just get the chat started on a little Ronnie Dio, and then what else before we get going here? That's it. Yeah, sign of the That's it. That's it. Sign of the Southern Cross. Absolutely right. That song is fucking heavy as shit, man. Uh, Absolute fucking legend. It's not a word you can use on anybody, but it definitely fits. Johnny James Dio, Ronnie James Dio, uh, no doubt about it. Dude is a fucking legend. Uh, so yeah, again, it says on the bottom, man, if you want to help out the show, subscribe to the channel, tell everybody about it. Um, I'd really appreciate it. Uh, Temple of the King. Hey, Roy, got our boy Roy checking in. So yeah, all right. So let's get this thing rolling. I guess today, I got to know him just through finding out about the documentary he was working on, which obviously has kind of slowed down production due to the whole pandemic thing. But the Growl, uh, got to know him a little bit online through that. He's also I think we're pretty much the same age, so he was back around in the early days of death metal, of the zines and tape trading and all that. Even had a band, put out a demo, which we get into with him about it. Also did a zine way back then, so y'all put it up. Yeah, Stargazer. Put your hands together for the one and only Cannibal Cam. He's frozen already.
Hey. I was gonna say with the Dio,
Yeah,
Voodoo off of Mob Rules.
Voodoo, that's your jam, huh?
That's the fucking do. do 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 voodoo. Oh my god, man, that song that goes in my car when I'm fucking cranking it. It's like the greatest Dio, man. All of Dio is amazing, though. Actually,
Yeah, I need you enjoy some Dio, man. Dio fucking Dio
yeah.
rules, dude.
Yeah,
I
because
remember.
Go ahead.
I remember my older brother had the Last in Line cassette way back then. It was the white shelled ones. Remember the old white shell tape?
Oh yeah.
You know, you're the last in line. I was like, holy shit. You know, I'd like wait for him to leave and I'd play it or whatever. And that goes way back. I don't even remember when that came out, but it was like 83, 84 or something like that.
Yep. Totally.
I don't remember, but
I remember seeing Mob Rules in Kmart, and that fucking cover, man, just blew my mind. But I didn't buy it at that time. I was a big Ozzy guy. I got Speak of the Devil for, I think it was like my 8th or 9th birthday or something like that. And that was the best album ever. I didn't know it was Sabbath songs. I didn't know anything. It was just Ozzy ruled. That was the greatest cover. And that was it, right? So by that time, I was kind of getting into a lot of breakdance and hip hop and stuff like that. So I didn't dig
Electric Boogaloo.
Oh God, no, not number 2. Number 2 sucks, man. I can't stand number 2. Part 1, that's it. Part 1 forever.
Breaking. Yeah, I remember that stuff, dude. Did you had your cardboard and all that?
I had the cardboard and everything, man. I remember at school there was a couple breakers at the time too, and they would once in a while I was able to do the head spin for maybe a couple turns. So they were always like, "Hey, come on over, man, do your head spin." So, do it like twice and then freeze. And then that's it. Right?
I think the technical line might have been the backspin and what was the centipede?
The worm,
or whatever they called it. Yeah.
Did you do it back? Did you do it backwards or frontwards?
Man, probably just frontwards. I wasn't that.
Frontwards is always.
And then the whole this thing. Remember that thing when you kind of pass it off to somebody?
The wave. No, what was it? What? Yeah, what was? Yeah, I know. I love it, man. I loved it.
Well, the windmill. Yeah. What's the windmill?
I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it, man. I tried because I ended up buying, me and my cousin, like a tile mat so that we could break, and then we graffitied all over it and whatever like that. And the windmill, I was trying to, I don't know how they did it, man. I was so pissed.
Yeah.
So
I couldn't do all that crap. I mean,
just a little bit here and there,
Yeah, I think breaking may have lasted a couple years, maybe. I don't even know. Just kind of died out.
Yeah, because it kind of started in the late 70s, just when Grandmaster Flash was starting to do his thing and everything. So there was that style, that dancing was coming in then. But it was by the time like Electric Boogaloo, when it pretty much I think that soured a lot of people, and it was like, that's not the culture anymore, man. Now this is just like everybody loves it now, and it's the cool thing to do, and it's not underground, so it dies. Just like every scene.
Shit. Oh, that's awesome, man. But yeah, I remember all that stuff. The parachute pants and
I loved it. I loved it, man. I carried around the Ghetto Blaster, but it would be like, it would usually a cross between like let's see, like Schoolie D or something like that, and then I'd go in school. I love Schoolie D and all that shit, right? And then I was starting to get into a lot of skateboarding at that time, so watching the videos, which was a huge gateway back then too, right? Watching Santa Cruz videos and Powell Peralta videos and all that stuff, because the soundtracks that they would put in their movies was usually like, there was Minor Threat, there was Black Flag, there was Dinosaur Jr., there was and just a bunch of other Circle Jerks, all that kind of shit. So right away you're kind of like, oh, okay, what's going on here now, right? So
Danilo brings up, remember the fat shoelaces?
No.
You don't? You guys didn't have like the big fat shoelaces?
Oh, you mean actually putting fat laces in your shoes? Yes.
On your shoes, yeah. And okay. they were like fluorescent, I think.
I had lots of them. I liked fluorescent at that time, man. I was a big fluorescent guy. I won second place as the brightest kid in grade 7. I swear, because it was like a neon sweater. I had a neon green sweater. I had neon orange track pants. I had like Miami Vice mesh shoes on. Like, it was beautiful.
Miami Vice. There's people probably listening like right now, like watching. What the hell are they talking about?
Yeah, I know we're old. We're getting dated now, eh? That's the problem.
I think we're roughly pretty much the same age. So
I'm 40. I'll be 47 in August.
okay, yeah, you got me by a little bit. I gotta wait a few months after that. So,
Oh, okay.
but
Well, you're still 46 now, anyways.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So growing up in Canada, what town did you grow up in, or what city?
Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls and St. Catharines, which is St.
Okay.
Catharines is like 10 minutes. It's a bigger part of the Niagara region. That's all. But Niagara Falls is my home base.
I've been to the U.S. side of that, like
Yeah.
back in 2011. But we'll get about that. But yeah, Miami Vice fashion for life, buddy.
Dude, I used to. There was a phase for a while where I was wearing like the white suit jackets with like the fluorescent low
shirt
with the low cut shirt and everything, right, man? I loved Miami Vice.
What was it? Don. What was their character's name? I can't remember now.
It was Tubbs and
Sonny. Was it Sonny?
Is that it? Is that what? What's
right,
his name?
Somebody call in.
Come on.
Somebody call in and let us know.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
But
so, no socks.
Yeah, I told you all the time.
Yeah.
It was no socks because you had those mesh shoes, right? So you always had to keep, it was always just nice and free.
Pocket? I don't think that's right. Pocket? Pocket?
Oh, tuck it. What? No. What the fuck?
What was his name? Tucket? No. Crockett.
Was that it?
Crockett and Tubbs. That's right.
Crockett and Tubbs. That's it.
I knew somebody would know.
That's great.
So it was Sonny Crockett. Okay, I was right. But yeah, I could talk 80s TV forever, but we'll move on.
Yeah, totally. So Niagara Falls, St. Catharines. That's right.
This is a good, perfect segue. I'm glad you brought that up. One of my all-time favorite TV shows is actually Canadian TV show. Were you ever into Kids in the Hall?
Buddy, I remember the first fucking day that they announced this on, I think it was CBS at the time. So this is like 87, I think, 88, when the Simpsons were first on the Tracy Ullman show.
I remember.
So it was around that exact time. So like 80, I think it was 87, 88 or whatever. And yeah, this was like the new SCTV and all that kind of stuff, right? So me and my buddies, we were just like, yes, this fucking show. And then it turned out amazing.
Oh, I love it. It's one of my favorites ever. It actually had
so good.
Huge influence on me, this show.
Wow.
Dude, I'm serious. I love this show. They used to show it on here it was on like I think it was Comedy Central, like in the very, very early days.
Okay.
Very, very early days, which when I first heard about it. But
that's good that our humor translates well to you guys still too, right? Because there is a divide, right? Canadians and Americans, you can tell, but that's awesome. But it's just their humor is it's limitless. It's not just like Canadian culture. It's all kinds of shit, right?
No, it's great. I mean, I everything they did, even that movie, Brain Candy, I fucking love. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, hails to the Kids in the Hall. If you don't know who the Kids in the Hall, man, you need to check it out. I'm sure they got stuff on YouTube.
Oh, a lot. There's tons of stuff up there.
Let me see what else. Let me see if I can get you going.
Yeah, I went over to Niagara Falls, New York, like all the time. The borders were like wide open back in the day, right? So you could just pretty much just be like, you walk up to the border, 25 cents in. It's like, hey, where are you from? Niagara Falls. What are you doing? We're going skateboarding. We're going to a show. All right, cool. Be good. And that it was so simple. So we were always over there, right? And the exchange is always good. The money was good at the time. So it was like we'd always, and I was a BMX racer back in the day too. So I was sponsored by an American bike store. So we were there over there all the time, man. That was like second home.
BMX was huge. BMX was huge back then.
Loved it, man. I used to race like crazy, man. I was stupid enough to be the guy where it's like, I'm getting bored of it, even though I'm number one in my age class, professional
Yeah,
age class at that time. But I was just right on the brink of like, I could have made it if I would have stuck it another year or so. Like, it's ridiculous. So
yeah,
that's
that's
what I tell
crazy.
my kids. So I tell my kids, I go, if you're good at something, you keep doing it
Yeah,
until you make it.
don't quit. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Don't quit.
Don't.
Don't quit.
That's actually great advice to somebody. Just don't quit. Just keep doing it.
Seriously, man. Even if you think like if you are actually good at it and you're kind of getting bored or whatever, like I don't know, man. I look back and I'm like, holy fuck! Like I got trophies that are like 5 feet tall, and man,
Well,
I was doing it, but I was
I
stupid and
mean,
I quit.
just like you now, I'm sure when you were a kid, you'd like, man, it'd be kind of cool to like to make some kind of movie or whatever, right? And here you are.
Right. So now I'm pushing myself to do yeah to start doing all this new shit or whatever.
There you go.
Yeah,
So, all right,
that's it.
here's another one of my all-time favorite comedians is from Canada. The one and only Norm
Jim Carrey.
Macdonald.
Okay,
No, Norm, Norm
Norm
Macdonald.
Macdonald. Oh man, he's hilarious. He's so dry. It's
Love
amazing.
him. Love him. He's like he's to me one of my I love like stand-up comedy and just big on comedy and
Yeah.
he's one of the all-time greats and if you ever watch his shows or anything, it's
The
just
SNL stuff,
guy's
anything,
genius.
right?
Yeah. This is actually a picture from SNL when he was
Yeah.
he actually got fired from SNL for talking too much shit about OJ Simpson
Whoa.
back when. So anybody who's
Hey,
got
good for
those
him.
kind of anybody's got those kind of balls, I respect. You know what I mean?
Especially when you've made it and you're like, fuck it, man. I'm
He didn't
good
give a
now.
shit.
Yeah,
He didn't give a shit.
that's great.
So, but yeah, Norm Macdonald. Yeah, one of the best. All right, let me see what
Sweet.
else. What else do I got on here? Now, this guy here, I mean, everybody's got to know this guy. Tommy Chong.
Frey from Victoria, BC. Hell yeah.
Were you a Cheech and Chong guy?
Oh my God. I think everybody our age
I
had
think
to
you're
have
right.
been
I
had
think
to
you're
have
right.
been, man. Like it's like even up to the lowrider culture, man. I want a fucking lowrider with hydraulics and everything and fur. I've made all my cars back in high school and everything all fur. I furred all my cars all the time. I realized Fabricland was a thing and I can get yards and yards of fun fur and I
That's
just
great.
fucking did my cars all the time, man. It was the best. I called them all the fur burgers.
What's your favorite Cheech and Chong movie?
The first one,
Uh, 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 uh,
which is
uh,
just
why am I
up in
drawing a
smoke,
blank?
up in
Up in
smoke.
smoke. There
Yeah,
you go.
that
Hey,
it's that picture right there. Yeah,
yeah. When they're in the car, yeah, up in
well,
smoke.
it's unbelievable, man. It's fucking Doberman, man.
Yeah. What is in What is in this shit, man?
Mellow, mellow.
I like
Ah!
when he what is it? Man, when we get back, man, we're gonna start the heaviest band ever, man.
That's
Shit.
fucking gold, man. Strawberry. Make sure you don't look at him, man. Make sure you don't stare at him. I fucking love it, man. It's awesome, and I show my boys too, and my boys are
Really?
21 and 16. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
they're already into shit, anyways. I mean, especially with the internet, right? So I showed them that, and my oldest got it a little more than my youngest because my oldest likes to burn a little bit. So
Yeah.
yeah, he liked it, but
Oh yeah, you
it's
have to.
yeah,
It's a
it's
fucking
just
classic.
if
This
you're
one
if
is
you're into weed, you know Cheech and Chong. Like it's no ifs, ands, or buts.
yeah.
That's why
And
I
if
like
you're
him
in,
so much.
yeah, I know. I was gonna say
Do you burn?
that might no. I was gonna say that might have influenced you quite a bit back then.
Holy fuck, did it ever? Yeah, but I mean, obviously, when did that movie come out? Probably like 81,
80,
82.
81, probably, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So I didn't get it until I was 16, I think.
Yeah.
I was like, I
Yeah, I
knew it
don't
was
remember when
weed
I
or
first saw
whatever,
it.
but I
Yeah.
was like, I didn't care about any of it. And then all of a sudden, I just got a whiff of it one time, and I was like, whoa, the fuck is that, man? Fuck being this straight edge shit. I need to check that shit out. Hilarious.
Smoking weed, jamming the minor threat.
The best, man. My buddy had that's where I was first introduced to Minor Threat. Was my buddy had a live tape live in DC, which I think is
Yeah,
like 81. It's half black and white, and
yeah.
I think it's mostly black and white and a little bit of color or whatever. But my God, we would sit in his basement and just fucking watch that video over and over and over. Jesus, that and Extreme Noise Terror. He had fuck, what year was that one?
The
That was an
89
old.
one. They're like playing. Yeah, it's like totally brutal. It's the 80.
It might have been
I
89.
think I know which one you're talking about. That's a brutal ass video.
My God, man, front to back, we would just rewind it and then go out, smoke a little bit, come back, fucking watch it again. It was like, wow, man, what is this shit?
What is in this shit, man? Roy, what's up? Hey, our boy Roy Fox checking in. He's Canadian hash.
You fucking Canadian. Oh man, we have so much weed. I mean, you guys are opening up too down there too, but man, we got killer around this area too. Us in BC, we got the best soil, so that's why the best weed comes out a lot of us in Ontario, because we're like a wine, we're like the wine region. All the best soil for all the grapes is the best around here, right? So it's just wine, fucking wineries everywhere. And same with BC, so they just figured we might as well grow good shit too. And yeah, we've got pretty good stuff.
You ever watch a show? You Can Do That on Television? I think I remember that show.
Oh my God, is that a show?
You can't do that on television.
Yeah, you can't do that on television, man. Barf burgers, man, all the time, man. I heard that. Love it, man. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah, I was fixated on that.
I got one more. I just discovered this guy probably about three years ago, maybe, but turns out he's a freaking legend. Nardwar.
Oh, Nardwar. Oh my God, Nardwar. He's got the craziest questions, man. It's fucking awesome.
The best, he's the best.
He blows every person he interviews out of the water.
Yeah.
Like yeah. When?
Like I said, just a few years ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's been on. We have Much Music over here. You got MTV. We got Much Music. So he had a show on Much Music beforehand. So that's kind of where we figured him out, because he would do little segments. He wouldn't have like a full show. He would just do his interview segments on there. And yeah, man, you just watch that shit. And you'd be like, how the fuck did you get that question? Especially back then too, right? I mean, you're not like his early stuff is 90s, so there's no internet. Yeah. So he's literally just calling the relatives or the friends of the people he's interviewing, right, and asking them questions about weird, underground shit that only they would know and not the media, right? Yeah, so exactly. That's why it's so interesting, because he'd bring up just like childhood questions, and they'd be like, "What the fuck? How the fuck do you know that?"
We say, "Thank you, Mrs. Robinson," or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, what?
Yeah,
who the hell that?
How do you? Yeah, exactly.
Third grade teacher? What? How do you know that?"
Exactly, man. He blew away a bunch of rappers. I was watching like a compilation video of all this, the guests getting blown away, and I was like, "Holy crap, man! Those are questions like nobody knows, right?"
Did you ever see his band play?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Any Nardwar fans out there? I mean, like I said, check out his show, man. His interviews are the best. Pretty much. Yeah. You can find him on YouTube everywhere, but Nardwar.
Everywhere.
Nardwar,
almost just type in Nardwar greatest hits just to get you started.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he's got interviews with like everybody.
Everybody.
Like a bunch of rappers to like Slayer to anybody.
Yeah, so, and it's great, man.
Yeah, Nardwar. Yeah. Anyway, I thought I'd start off with a few.
Hail Canadian.
Few of my favorite Canadian stuffs.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, there's more, but those we could be here all day. But so
all day.
Let me bring up a few of them. Cool. Well, you kind of mentioned it a while ago, getting into extreme side of things, watching like skate videos and stuff like that. What got you? What got you into? I mean, how did you come across like extreme music besides those? Was it the videos that you were watching?
Well, obviously that's I would say like usually punk rock and thrash is your gateway anyways, right? Just like everybody's story, everybody's heard Metallica, everybody heard Slayer, everybody heard Venom, all that kind of stuff, right? But my buddy, who is the bass player in Mangled, my old band, he was the underground one of our little circle. So there was a shop that downtown Niagara Falls was called Pop Tones. A lot of Buffalo people, they used to come over all the time, and they would deal with Frank. Frank was the underground dude. So
Yeah.
my buddy Dan was a frequent shopper at Pop Tones. So one day, we go to the shop, and I was like, yeah, let's go check this out, man. I like skateboard shit. I like, I like Black Flag. I like Minor Threat, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
right? So then we go in there, and then it's just one of those, old school head shops. It's burning incense, flags everywhere, records, showcases of tapes, fucking
Nice.
bootleg CDs, all this stuff, VHS everywhere. And I'm just like, I'm in awe. Like, as soon as I walk in, I can still remember that feeling. I'm walking in, right? So he was a frequent shopper there. So he had this one compilation, North Atlantic Noise Attack. I think we've talked about this before. So with a bunch of those guys were just like, Cam, come on over, man. We got this weird record, and it's got some this, like, you'll never hear these vocals. You've never heard these vocals. It's so weird, right? So it was Extreme Noise Terror, Napalm, Jail Cell Recipes, Intense Degree, all that stuff, right? So they're like, okay, so check out Extreme Noise Terror, right? So it's Bullshit Propaganda is the first song. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this doesn't make any sense. He's just rambling like letters and incoherent nothings. And then they're like, all right, check Napalm out. It's heavier, Napalm Death.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy fuck, man. Like, this is not right. So then we all walk away, and we're laughing, like, can you believe that and shit? So I remember going to bed that night and just laying there and going, wow. I don't what the hell just happened there? I don't understand this. I'm not laughing. I'm actually kind of intrigued now.
Like, life-changing moment.
It was. And then literally, I remember my parents, we went up to Toronto. It was like a day or two later. And I was like, I got to go to a record store. I need to see this Napalm Death. So I bought Scum. And then, boom, that was, what's that, 89, 90? I think it was. Yeah. Done. I'm like, done.
That was it, huh? That's
wow.
That's pretty, that's a pretty good place to start, actually.
It's holy shit, man. And it's cool because I remember his bedroom, and there was like 5 of us crammed in there because we were all just like we gotta hear, what is this? What are you showing us? So we were all just like, anticipation, and they were a bunch of potheads. I wasn't smoking weed at the time too. And we just fucking all just jaw dropped at each other. Oh my god, man. And then that was it. I was like, I need to know more. What is this shit?
Was there any you mentioned, I guess that was kind of a record store, but was there any specific record stores that you used to go to a lot back then? That, I mean, because I know in Houston we had quite a few. So I don't know if you guys had like that record store was like, man, if you should have. I mean, this was like the best record store ever.
Yeah. So Toronto, we had Record Peddler, and that was run by a guy who again introduced a bunch of us young dudes. University radio back in 90, I think it was 90, 91.
Yeah.
So he had a university radio show going on, which Lori Fortune from Eruptions from Below, or Lori Steele, sorry.
Yeah.
She ended up doing a show through there also. But Record Peddler was the underground shop. Again, we were told by a few of our buddies, older brothers, that you got to go to the Record Peddler. That's where you want to find Benediction. That's where you want to find Celtic Frost. That's where you want to find all that kind of shit. So Toronto was Record Peddler, and Buffalo was Home of the Hits.
Home of the Hits.
Yeah. And Cavages. Actually, there was a mall that was in Niagara Falls, New York, which was called Cavages. And apparently that's where one of the A&R guys' buddies worked there. And that's how Cannibal Corpse got signed, was through this guy was through this guy at Cavages. So that was that one record store.
Yeah, that's right. I think I've probably seen that. I have a huge documentary on the beginning of that band. Now, back then, we talk about record stores, but the other thing, I think you kind of touched on it briefly, zines. Was there any zines that when you first started, what was some of the first zines that you got that kind of blew your mind and like, Whoa, what the hell is this?
Um, it was actually my buddy's zine, uh, Metal Dan. So
Yeah.
Dan Lulinich, he was in it. He was in it before I was. And he was one of the guys that introduced me actually to more extreme music. When I first met him, he's still my best friend to this day. He
Nice.
pulled up with his buddy on our street. We were fucking, I think we were skateboarding or BMXing or something, right? So he pulls up, him and his buddy, they're driving in the car and they're cranking Pungent Stench. Just, he got the advanced copy of Been Caught Buttering, right? So
Yeah.
I pull up to these guys, our buddies, and I'm just like, hey man, what's up? And then literally I look down in the center console and I was like, what the fuck are you doing with a Pungent Stench Been Caught Buttering? I was like, okay, who are you? Tell me more and give me everything you got. So
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
so right away he was just like, cool, man, like, So then he ended up doing a zine called Metal Assault.
Oh yeah.
So that was his, and
That's a cool cover.
he ended up doing, interviews, God Macabre, At the Gates,
Cool.
Autopsy, Tiamat, Cro-Mags, Paradise Lost,
Nice.
Entombed, like he was heavy into this shit at the time. So
Yeah.
literally, like, when next time I seen him, he just handed me like a giant stack of flyers and zines and some tapes and all
Yeah.
this shit. I was just like, okay, like, I don't even know where to start now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. Now was this guy like obviously he was into tape trading? Did he
Oh
introduce
yeah.
you to tape trading and all that?
Yeah, he again he gave me a bunch of flyers, which were like, I remember I started doing some tape trading with Blood Zit Tapes was a big distributor at the time. So I
Hmm.
was grabbing a couple from him, and again, like, you would just get lists and all kinds of shit, right? So
Yeah.
I automatically, as soon as I got all this stuff, I just started writing to everybody, going, "Here's $5 for this. Here, I need a zine. Hey, what's going on? You want to do an interview? I want to start a fanzine. I want to do this. I want to do that." So then,
Yeah.
it
Of
just
course.
it just goes from there.
Yeah. I like to say. I mean, all that stuff was still new and like there was nothing around like it and it was just it was a cool time like our buddy Brian. It was a glorious time, right?
It really was, man. It was such a neat feeling to come home to, writing letters and then getting packages and then writing more letters and then just
Yeah.
kind of and just getting all kinds of shit and not knowing what you're getting half the time, because you end up just having so much stuff that you just fill it with whatever to go, and then somebody else is going to send you something filled with as much shit as you just sent out. So it just kept going. It was so,
Yeah.
like you said, it was glorious, man.
Yeah, dude. I used to have. I mean, people have dreams about whatever. I used to have dreams about packages coming to my house. When I was a kid,
Seriously.
and like I used to have dreams about going to a record store and like finding like it's like holy shit, you know. That's the kind of dreams I used to have as a fucking kid, because that's how deep one
Yeah.
gets into this shit. You start
Oh,
dreaming
totally.
about it.
Totally. And
And like,
especially when you started getting like flyers, and
yeah,
then
dude. Oh
all of
yeah,
a
poor
sudden,
humans, you're lost.
yeah, and all of a sudden all this shit starts coming in. You're like, okay, so who's deceased, who's pungent, who's
Right.
benediction, who's Speckman, who's just like it you got an excited feeling though, man. Like you
Hey,
were.
put that up again, please.
Yes.
I'll put you on a solo layout. I used to have that hanging on my wall. I think it might have been one just similar to that one. But I remember the Poor Humans. Me and my buddy Ray would like, hey, let's start a band called Poor Humans. Solely on that fucking just for seeing that flyer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember
Uh
those nuclear
yeah.
blast inserts and all that.
Right? Oh my God, man, this stuff was flying around, but every time you got something, you were like literally goosebumps over, like, what the fuck is embryonic
Yeah.
death? What the hell is Order from Chaos? What's Wild Rags Records? What is this? What's Jail America? Like,
Right.
you start losing your mind, going crazy,
Yeah.
man.
Hell yeah, dude.
It was
It
a
was a
great
fucking
time.
best. Yeah, it was the best. Do you remember who the very first band that you wrote or one that wrote you back?
Um,
I remember the first one I wrote, but I don't think they ever wrote me back was Terrorizer. I don't know if I wrote Jesse or Oscar, but I never got a letter back and I was kind of upset, but whatever. But that was the very first first band I
fuck.
think I tried to write.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know, actually.
I stumped you.
Because literally, man, as soon as I got flyers, I was like, I can buy a 27-cent stamp. Like I can buy numerous of these and just send stuff out. So
or SASE or a what was the overseas things they would ask for?
the
The IRC.
Yes. Yes. But then you'd put the glue on the stamps and then you get them to send it back so you can send it back to them, right?
Right. Every letter. Don't forget to send me back my stamp.
little thing of glue on there and you just wipe it off, man.
Yeah, glue stamps.
Yeah, I don't remember, man. Fuck, yeah, that's tough. I remember the first catalog I got was from Metal Disc.
Metal Disc?
Yeah,
I remember that. Was it from like California or something?
I believe it was, man. Just a massive distribution, right? All kinds of shit. That's where I ordered.
That's right.
That's where I ordered Unseen Terror. I'd ordered Intense Degree Peel Sessions on tape. I ordered a few things on there, man. It was a cool shop and it was reasonable. Like a record back then, fucking sending it was like what, $2, $3 or something.
Yeah. Now it's like $80 to send a fucking record. You know?
Oh, it's so sad.
Quick plug, Intense Degree. There's if you look on my channel, I have an interview with Frank from Intense Degree. So check it out.
That's amazing, man. War in My Head, man. What an album, eh?
Unreal.
It's unbelievable, man. Like just the intensity with such a hardcore sound. Those blast beats and just holy shit, man. They're fast.
Yeah, dude. Fast fucking hardcore. Metal Disc. Here we go. We got somebody who remembers Metal Disc. Metal Disc ruled.
It did. It was full. It was so many fucking pages in that thing, man. You just didn't know what to order.
Yeah, I remember it, but I'm trying to. I'm sure I probably ordered some shit, but I just if I remember, it was like California or some shit.
I think so.
It was quite a long time ago.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's only 30 years.
And I always say, I always say it's quite a long time ago with my shitty British accent because when I saw Carcass, was it 91 or something like that? I was asking like Jeff Walker, about Reek, which is probably my all-time favorite album, about the vocals and who did this and who did that. And all he could tell me was, well, I don't know, it's quite a long time ago. I was like, dude, it was like 3-4 years ago. How can you not remember this shit? So.
Oh my God, that's not fair. I would say up to symphonies. I like the necroticism, but I find the songs are just too long. I find.
Yeah, it's just I always make a joke. Carcass died in a plane crash like in 1990. So.
Pretty much.
Columbia. What are you talking? Oh, he's probably talking about Columbia House. Nah, we weren't.
No, come on, man.
Yeah.
Nah, there was a couple CDs on there. I actually remember they had Fear, Emptiness, Despair from Napalm on there because they were signed to Columbia. They were signed to Columbia at the time, right?
Oh yeah, I remember Columbia Earache.
So there was a few releases that did Columbia House have, but I mean, you'd order them for a couple cents and then you just wouldn't send money back, right?
Yeah. Did you guys? I guess the shows you went to. Is there any like cool venues you guys that you fucking love going to back when you were first started going to shows?
Opera House is still there, and that's where I seen my first Canadian death metal show with Cryptopsy and Cataclysm on Death Gate Cycle of Reincarnation and on Gentile Exhumation. So Opera House has been around for a while. Cathedral is done. Unfortunately, that's in Toronto also. They had a shit ton of underground shows, man. A lot of those bloodletting tours with Deeds of Flesh and Cephalic Carnage and Pyamia and all that kind of stuff. That was all fucking flying through there for a while, but they closed down about 7 years ago. Buffalo, pretty much everything is closed since back then. Yeah, Skyrim's closed. Pleasure Dome is closed. Scrapyard is closed. Shit. And pretty much every bar that was all the local shows, they're all gone too now, man. Fuck, it's such a shame. But I mean, that's what happens, right? 30 years later, infrastructure is fucking different. Business changes. People just move on.
Yeah, totally.
And it sucks because I want that shit back, though. We're nostalgic seekers, right? I mean, it almost.
I mean, we were kind of there, so because I was watching something or reading something. It was it had to be a younger kid. It's like, yeah, we need to bring tape trading back. I'm like, do you have any idea how much work that was?
Holy shit,
Just
man!
dubbing a tape. I never want to dub a tape again in my life.
Right? Even if it was on high speed, you still don't want to do it anymore, right?
Yeah, no. Because I mean, if
Well,
you were cool, you would like tape something for a buddy, like high
of
speed.
course,
It would actually the I think the quality would suffer. I think if you did it
a
on high
little
speed.
bit. Yeah.
But
But I
yeah,
mean,
I mean,
us tape trading, though, that was literally putting on 3 or 4 or 5 demos on one tape on a 60
right.
minute or a 90-minute tape, right, man? That took hours.
Yeah. Fuck that. I mean, if you want to do it, go right ahead. But
Send me some, man. I'd love to.
I guarantee you'll be tired of it, in no time. Like, yeah, fuck this. How about I just send you like a link or something,
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Here's an MP3 download link. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, I'll take it. I mean, I'm all about physical copies and everything, but
Totally.
I don't mind somebody sending me a link to listen to something, So.
All the time, man. Hey, okay, so I got a question for you.
Uh-oh.
What is it that makes the old shit the best?
Well, to me, it was just because it was new, and it was something new, and then a lot of the bands then that you and I were like listening to, when you listen to them talk about when they first started, they say, okay, yeah, we were influenced by Slayer, Bathory, this and that, but we didn't want to be Slayer. We wanted to be more extreme than those bands. Right. So those guys, to me, they weren't trying to be like, a copy of Slayer. They wanted to fucking destroy Slayer. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
all those guys, and what blows me away is they were only like 4 years older than you and I at the time, right?
Literally.
They were like 21, 22, and we're like 17 years old, and they're just like, they're blowing our minds with these albums. Because you look back, Left Hand Path, for example, they were like 16, 17 years old when they wrote that album.
It's so stupid. Yeah.
So to me, and it was just, it was something new. It was definitely original at the time. So I'm one of those people like, hey, the original stuff is,
untouchable.
Is where it's at, So
right.
To me, but that has a lot to do with it. If I talked to a lot of the guys, I call them older guys. Yeah, they're only 4 years older than us, but then 4 years was like it could have been 10 years,
Seriously.
But those guys, like people like just naming guys I've had on the show, like Alex Brooks, Don McEntee, all those guys, they'll tell you they worshipped all those bands, but they didn't want to be those bands. They wanted to fucking just blow those bands away, which is the right attitude to have. And to me, that's what kind of sets them apart from just anything that's coming out now. Because how far can you push this shit? I don't know.
Well, well, you can't really. I don't think you can anymore, honestly. Death metal is death metal. That's how it is, right? Grindcore.
Yeah.
It's set its standard. That's how it is. So it's just how you sound now, and if people like your riffs.
and maybe it's because I grew up at that time. Yeah, riffs are key. You can have the best sounding. You got to have catchy riffs. You got to have hooks and all that, and a lot of that's lost. But I mean. And I'm more into the raw stuff. Yeah, that's what was around then, right?
Totally. But, that's all it was.
It was just kind of like, that's what those guys had in front of them or available, or that's all they could afford. So that's why things sound like that. But
it's exactly it. I was gonna say that's the point, is because everybody used what they had. That was, and so everybody had their own sound. They didn't have fucking all those preamps. They didn't have all this extra shit. They used what they could afford. Right. So that's why everybody had their own sound too at that time, right? Like it was just, that's whatever you used, borrowed, whatever, that's what you then. So all of a sudden you got this sound, and everybody had their own sound, which was magical at that time, because you could pick out who everybody was at that time, right?
Yeah, and nobody had like any aspirations of being like this huge fucking star on the internet or anything. People were just like, they were doing it for the love of it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And And Sam, this is Sam Biles. He said originality and a lot of recordings and integrity. You know, it's just
Yes,
they were doing it for the love of it, right? And
you could feel it.
yeah, and a lot of those bands are like, yeah, it's weird to think about now, but bands like Chorophobia and all the other people that were before them would laugh at that kind of music at the time, you know, and they didn't care. And to me, that says a lot. Hey, you know, fuck you. I'm going to do what I want to do, and
Totally.
if you don't like it, fuck you. So to me, that's what drew me to all that shit.
Yeah, totally, man, totally. And it was just and then like you said, nobody would ever think that with the amount of negativity they were getting from the thrash scene and all the old school guys before death metal, it's like everybody in there was like, we're not going anywhere with this shit, man. Like people are making fun of us like crazy, but we're gonna do it anyways because we love that they hate us.
And how many times? I don't mean to cut you off, but how many times I remember I used to hear like, "Oh, what is that? What is fucking Cookie Monster vocals or whatever?" That was the only insult.
Yeah, that's all you got. Come on.
Come on, man.
Have you heard what this guy's fucking riffing? I'd like to see you try that.
Yeah. Exactly. And again, they were teenagers at the time writing that shit.
Oh, everybody was, man, in their garages, all that kind of shit, right? So like a lot of that early stuff is just it's right from the heart, right? Yeah, and then as soon as everybody got signed, there was pressure. So then things started folding and people started getting into different music and blah, blah, blah. And then alternatives got popular and then grunge got popular and then new metal got popular. And then everybody started drifting away. And that's what happened, man. It's just everybody fucking took off because it was like, oh, shit, we've already been there, done that. Let's move on to something else now. And then fucking boom. But it's good to see that the people that pushed that away during that time, too, because, I mean, I don't want to say any ill will against Buffalo or anything like that, but 92, 93, man, everybody was gone. That was it. There was no scene. There was no death metal. There was no nothing, man. A lot of people jumped ship, right? And I guess that's just because of ages where during that time, especially myself and you, like we were kind of the younger dudes hanging out with a couple of the older guys, like a lot of the older guys at that time. So they were 21, 22 at that time. And then they were getting jobs and getting, with their wives pregnant and all that kind of stuff. So everybody started moving off. And then we're sitting here going, holy shit, like we just getting into this stuff. Where's everybody going? But they've already been there, done that with all the 88, 87, 88, 89 era. And then it's like, yeah, we're already over it. We're older now and it's time to move on. And
how many, I make this point all the time. How many people are still around? Back when I was like in high school going to shows, there's very few people still left in 2021 that are still into this shit. So,
or they came back.
Oh, well, yeah.
They came. Some of them came back just because I get it. We all grow up. I have kids. I got married. I did all that stuff too, right? So I get it, man. You get priorities and everything, but some of them are just like, okay, well, kids are older. Everything's good. I'm set I'm set now, so I can do my own thing now.
Yeah.
Where's all the good guys? Where's all the death metal guys? Where's all the thrash guys? Where's all the grindcore guys? Right? So some of them come back. Not many though.
Well, you speak of Buffalo, and it's funny that the biggest death metal band today came from Buffalo,
right?
Cannibal Corpse, right? I mean, and they kind of I don't know when they moved out away from there. I think it was after the first album or something. Maybe I don't know.
But I'm pretty sure that because Butchered was at Scott Burns. So I think they ended up making the trip right after that. I'm pretty sure Sam Biles, if he's on there, he knows he's good with the stories. He knows.
Yeah. Well, all those bands influenced you to start your own band.
Oh boy, there you go. You got it. Look at that. Hey, you bringing that up, huh?
You want to talk about this a little bit?
Well, let's see. Let's see. I think there it is. I ended up having to get.
Hold on. Let me get you on solo here. Go ahead.
So I ended up having to get a copy off a buddy Metal Dan or whatever. So I ended up giving this obviously back to him back in the day, and then he's like, "Do you even have a copy?" I was like, "I gave them all away, man." I think I made 75 copies or whatever.
Yeah.
And So he ended up giving me the tape, and it's all there. This is the
Old
original
memory
demo.
tape.
This is the original demo and everything, and
Yeah.
4 tracks. And yeah, we recorded it in my little loft and on top of this cool garage with a 4-track 2-track recorder.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2-track.
I recorded on a 2-track.
Yeah, it was a reel to reel.
It was actually in '93 too.
Nice. What did you record?
Me and my buddy Ray, we had a noisecore band at the time. We were called Kaka, Kaka, like shit in Spanish. So total noisecore.
I'm assuming you were after the likes of Splatteria and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Huge influence. Yeah.
Of course. But yeah, that was the demo. That was the first demo that I actually put out with the guys and everything. I mean, I fronted the whole thing pretty much. I was like, get the guys together. We got like, hey, I got the recording equipment. I got the mics, or 2 mics. And I put the design together, and it was obviously we're in high school. So you have the actual print on that metal roller or whatever. So you're actually ink printing. So that is an actual ink printed, not a Xerox copy cover. And I made the logo. I put it all together, man. I just wanted to do so much shit, because as soon as I found like this Buffalo scene and all those guys, Grotesque Infection, Obscurity, Eternal Torment, Disgorged from Rochester and all that, like I wanted to be a part of these dudes, because this was like so fun, and just people are losing their shit over the stupidest music ever, and it was so fun, man. So I just like, we got to do a band, we got to put a demo out. I'm starting to see how the network is working and everything, and I'm fucking, I'm just 16, 17. I'm a skater. I'm doing my own thing. I've always done my own thing on the side, tried to do a side hustle. And I was like, this is actually fun. So, putting a zine together and putting a band together, and then doing all the ads and the marketing and the mailing and everything. It's just fun. It was so fucking fun. So I just kept going, and I branched out into all kinds of other shit, like punk rock. I started, working for some other magazines and getting all these free shows and doing media and doing all this other stuff. And then we started a radio show in '97 on University Radio around here for like 4.5 years. And we started doing some videos, online stuff, early YouTube days. And like, I just wanted to do all kinds of shit, man, whether it be with music or movies or something, man. It was just so fun. Such a weird thing to be into, like all this obscure shit that nobody knows about. You can never have a proper conversation with anybody because nobody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it intrigued me the most, because it was like, wow, you don't know that stuff? Wow, that's fucking okay. Well, okay.
Yeah, times have changed. I always talk about how whenever I'd go somewhere in public and let's say I had a band T-shirt on. Back then, it'd be like, the fuck is wrong with that guy? You know, and here we are nowadays. Oh, hey, nice immolation shirt. It's completely different.
Especially my kids going to school too, right? So I'm going to pick my boys up, public schools, whatever like that, or and I'm being aware of what I'm wearing to these, to pick up my kid. I'm walking in front of the school, hanging out with other parents and all that kind of stuff, right? So, but I'm still pulling up and some weird horror shit and some death metal and some whatever music stuff, and like I don't think people just didn't know how to take me, because I'm forward. I'm like, hey, how you doing? How let's fucking hang out, let's talk, let's whatever, right? But everybody else is just sitting there going, he's got tattoos, he's got a weird shirt on, he's got fucking stupid little shorts on. Like, what's this guy's problem, right? So I'm just kind of sitting there, and as long as my son was hanging out with their kids, then we were cool, because you get to know somebody, and whatever, you're not as weird as you look, kind of thing, right? Right. But that was always the thing, man. And my kid going through school couldn't hang out with certain kids just because of the way we were. Like even my ex-wife too, the mother of my kids. We're punk rock, we're fucking metalheads, we got tattoos, we got with some weird shit on, and there's those parents in the young years going, I don't know if I want my kid hanging out with your kid, and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, holy fuck, man! Like, we're good guys, we're good people. Come on, man, what's going on here? Yeah, we just like different shit. That's all.
Yep. All right, here we go. Somebody wants, Iris wants to know about your shirt that you're wearing. What is that?
Oh, so this is Bride of the Head of the Family. Where is it here? So Full Moon Pictures is
Yeah.
Puppet Master, Trancers, um, a Doll Man, Demonic Toys. It's that company, right? So this is supposed to be in production with the movie that we ended up doing for Full Moon about a year and a half ago called Necropolis Legion.
Oh,
So the Deadly 10 is what Full Moon put this new concept out. We're going to make 10 movies in a
yeah.
certain amount of time, but COVID happened, fucked everything up. So Head of the Family was a movie that was made in the 90s, and somebody wanted to, make a new version of it or whatever. So Bride of the Head of the Family is
Oh,
a
okay.
is a concept that is going to be worked on down the road. But Necropolis Legion, right there, is a movie that we did for Full Moon Entertainment about almost a year and a half ago, pretty much. Where's the I'm covering it
Cool.
there. Full Moon right there. So and right on the front too, if you're Italian fans, Lamberto Bava, reminiscent of Italian horror, classic Italian horror.
Nice.
But anyways, yeah. So this Bride of the Head of the Family is just part of this Deadly 10 series that Full Moon is trying to put out over the next few years at least.
All right. Anytime I talk to you, I have to mention. I want you to talk about the influence this individual had not only on you, but the world of the extreme underground. And I'm talking about the gentleman in the middle, Brian Patterson.
Ah, fuck, eh? Oh man, I met him. I met him about fuck, probably 14 years ago now.
Yeah.
Right in the middle there, Brian Patterson. We were talking about him. Glorious Times book.
Yep.
So it's internet, everyone's starting to connect, everyone's starting to figure out who lives where. And I remember you, and I remember that fanzine, and it was happening, right? Facebook was
Yeah.
connecting everybody finally.
Yeah.
So Brian was one of those guys that Metal Dan knew from back in the day, heard of. So he's like, yeah, you got to start talking to this guy or whatever. And this was, he was starting to play with the idea of a Glorious Times thing or whatever. So I caught him online. I was like, hey, Brian Patterson, I heard, you're the guy that, put on the Day of Death Fest in the late 80s there with all the bands, and did a fanzine, Chainsaw Abortions, with Alan Moses. And I remember those days, man. And you're a local guy. We never connected or whatever. So I was DJing at a bar, fuck yeah, like 13, 14 years ago now. And doing metal nights and all this stuff. So he's like, hey, man, I'm putting some shows on. You got to, you're doing the radio show at the time. Let's figure something out. So he comes over to Niagara Falls, Canada, to the bar when I was playing, and I wore an Agathical. No, I didn't wear an Agathical shirt. I was wearing something else, and he wore an Agathical shirt over. To meet us, and I was just like, dude, like, holy shit, you're wearing a fucking Agathical shirt, man. I was, I love a theatrical symbolization of life and all that early stuff, right?
Right.
So right away, boom, 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 became good friends. And then he's working on this book, and then we just kept in touch. So all the shows that he was putting on at the time, he put on the next series of Day of Death shows with was Cam Lee doing Massacre stuff, and Druid Lord, and all these other bands or whatever. Back in Insanity, he brought back together too. And we just became buds after that, man. And he put the book out. We brought him over on the radio show. And then this picture here, man, Agathicals are coming over. So Brian hits me up right away, because Jan, he was talking to Jan a lot at the time. So Brian messaged me right away. He goes like, dude, Gathicals, I think I got them. They're coming. They're playing a bunch of shows in Canada. We're hooking up at these shows. I'm like, I'm in. You tell me what day, I'll book it off. I'll call in. I'll do whatever I got to do. So they played Toronto, and then they played Hamilton. So we ended up going to both shows, and finally meeting our pen pals from fucking 30 plus years. And and it was just one of those moments, man. And Brian was just in his glory. It was fucking. It was amazing. We were both in our glory, just kind of
Yeah,
looking at each other, going, "Holy shit! Like they're fucking here, man! Like
yeah,
holy
yeah,
crap!"
yeah. I mean, actually, I played that Day of Death Fest too in 2011. That was the first time. That's when I went to Niagara Falls on this side.
What,
But
what band?
I was in I played with Sam Biles and the Hideous Mangler stuff.
Oh, come on. Right? That was the only show that I missed that he put on. That's what I'm pissed about. I had a full-time job
It was
and,
great.
whatever. Oh, you're so, man, I
Yeah,
wanted to come out to that show so
I
bad.
always, I mean, I'll always be grateful to Brian. That was, he brought us over there. Me and my buddies from Houston, and
Wow.
we played. We learned like 10 Hideous songs, and we and Sam sang them. So it was a really cool weekend, man. I'll never
Wow.
forget it. I'll never
Right on.
forget it. And it was funny because there's a photo that he took of me with Cam Lee at Niagara Falls whenever it drops or whatever. So
Right
it
on,
was
man.
it
Wow.
was it was awesome weekend, man.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
pissed. I fucking missed that, man. When Brian started announcing all these shows, and I was like, I can't keep up with this right now, man. I got a full-time job, and I was working at the casino at the time, and then just fuck. So,
Look,
anyways,
I still have my all access Day of Death
oh
Glorious
yeah,
Times
oh
thing.
fuck. I got the flyer somewhere too. It's in a box somewhere or whatever.
Yep, there it is. There's
Oh
all the
man,
bands, and it was
it
unforgettable,
was
man.
glorious. It was glorious.
It really was, man. I Ruby, yeah, Ruby was there.
Ah,
She went from from Houston with us. We had a few friends from Houston go
sweet.
over there, and it was freaking awesome, dude. And one of my favorite memories of that, getting to play the show and the infamous Day of Death and all
Yeah.
that, right? But me and another person that we lost was there. Jim Kanye was there,
Ah,
and it was me and Paul Ramirez from Splatteria. He's known for
yeah.
being the drummer from Splatteria. Anyway, King and I were always, you know, just just kind of talking crap back and forth about playing basketball, playing a 2-on-2 basketball game, and it was going to be me and Paul against King Fowley and Jim Kanye, and we even went and got a basketball. We bought a basketball. It's all right. We're gonna do this. We're gonna fucking do this. But it didn't end up happening. But man, dude, all the shit talking we were doing, I'll
That's
never forget
great.
that.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
man. Right on.
yeah, dude. But yeah, I
Wicked.
mean, I look back at that time and I'm sad because Jim was there, Brian obviously, and then my really good friend John Saltz from Lethal Aggression.
Oh,
They played that day too, and we
yes.
were really good friends with him, and he passed away sadly too. So,
Ah,
but
yeah, man.
I'll never forget that weekend, and I'm always thankful to Brian for making that happen.
And he's just like us, man. He just wants to hang out. He's not looking to make a fucking buck on it. He's not looking to do anything like that. He just wants to get buds together, listening to this crazy music, and then just that's it, man. Like he had such a big heart. Like it was crazy what he did all the time.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
man. Yeah, it was fun.
All right,
Because
so
I ended up going to it was pretty much the when he redid it with that one, that was the first one that kicked him off or whatever, and then he did
yeah,
two more after that, and
right, right.
I ended up going to those two or whatever. But yeah, man, I was fucking pissed because I was supposed to see Baphomet back in the day with Cannibal and
Yeah,
Sinister. They were
yeah,
playing in Buffalo, but they had to bail out, so some other shit band jumped on. But I was fucking pissed because I was supposed to. That was I was supposed to just before Banished that album came out. They were
yeah,
supposed to play. Shit went down. They couldn't play and
yeah,
whatever. But Brian brought him back with at least TJ and Dave Craiglow, singer and guitarist,
yeah.
to bring back Dead Shall Inherit pretty
I
much.
I
So,
remember. Yeah. No,
oh man,
Brian was world known. I mean, known all over in the underground. He did Chainsaw Abortions. He
yeah,
had his radio show, underground radio show, at the pretty much the beginning of of
yeah,
everything. Uh, the Day of Death is one of probably the first like big death metal festival.
Yep. Pretty much, man.
That was it. That was it. So he dedicated. I mean, he did so much. So,
totally.
It was just totally bummed out, obviously. But like I said, I had to bring him up because I know you and I, we had a lot of respect for Brian.
Lots of history with him too, man. Like it's just he's just such a nice guy. We would just hang out, man. Like I would literally, we just go. He'd come over here, I'd go over there. Doesn't matter, man. Go to the jam sessions, and then I ended up doing one of the last little jam session live interview with him at their jam space for Anthropic, his grindcore band.
I watched
right that. And he's just a humble dude. Like he doesn't want to talk about the old days. He doesn't want to bring it up. He doesn't want to be that, hey, I'm that guy or whatever. Like just he's like, don't bring up Day of Death, don't bring up any of that stuff. Let's just talk about Anthropic and what we're doing now. And I was like, wow, like he doesn't care. Like it was so awesome. And we love the music, right?
That you nailed it perfectly. That's Brian right there.
Totally, man.
All right, love it. Lighten it up a little bit. Now hold your comment. Hold your comment. Hold your comments. I'm gonna show a couple of pictures, but I don't want you to say anything. Okay, so the first one I have is this right here. Okay?
Oh man, fuck yeah.
Okay, and then, all right. And let me. I want to show that again just for myself again.
Oh, good old fucking Jesus! Oh, I love those shorts.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that. And this right here. Okay, hold your comments.
Oh man.
If anybody doesn't know, that's Sorrow from their. I think it was their first. One of the worst band photos of all time.
Isn't that the Hatred and Disgust? Is that what that is?
It was the very first actual release they put out. I can't remember which one it was.
What did
Forgotten Sunrise or something?
Forgotten Sunrise. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one. So anyhow, my question is, who had a bigger influence on you? Which one was a bigger influence on you to, dress like this?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I love it, especially too right there, right?
I know how what you did to that.
If you end up zooming in the crotch area there, that's actually a stunt cock.
All right, here we go.
That's a stunt cock because that's not my cock. So that's at my butt. Phil Patterson right there, man. He's watching right now. He's the other half of Rabbit Dog Films. He was there that day too, man. So that was actually we were getting our stuff together for Human Cattle, is one of our short movies there. But the fucking shorts, I don't know. I don't know what happened, man. Because I was always like, I wore huge. I was a skater. Right. So fucking right from the 80s, I followed the trends. I followed skate culture, and we got into fucking really baggy pants for a while. Right. I mean, skaters back in the day were wearing fucking size like 50s and we're like a size 28 waist kind of thing. Right. So I was always like big pants, skater boy, blah, 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 or whatever. But then I was just kind of like, I ended up going through this period where my first son, he was around 5 or 6, and I was doing a lot of mushrooms at this time. I was trying to reconnect with some things, and I felt like I lost some shit or whatever, right? So I was doing all these mushrooms at the time, and then I started listening to a lot of fucking trippy shit like Tangerine Dream and like Floyd and and then I started getting into German psychedelia and then Japanese stuff and just going far out. So then I literally woke up the next day and I was like, fuck, man, like, wow, like I think I'm a hippie now or something. Like I had a crazy trip, man. I listened to Mike Oldfield, this album Omadon, 7 times in a row. It was on record. Lady went out for the night. I ended up fucking tripping balls. Fucking, it was crazy. I had like this 4-hour trip listening to this Mike Oldfield album, Omadon,
Yeah.
over and over. And I started seeing more shit, and then I saw more shit. And then the next time I listened to it, I saw more shit. And then I started realizing things, and then stuff just started kicking in. And then literally I woke up the next day, I go, I need corduroy pants and some bell bottoms right now. Like, this is crazy. It was crazy, man. I was fucking tripping ball, and I didn't listen to metal for like a year and a half because I was fucking just like, I loved it, man. These mushrooms my buddy was growing at the time were just fucking tripping me out. So then I literally, it was during that time when it just started, you know, shorts got shorter, shorts got a little shorter, shorts got a little shorter, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I guess I don't even need to wear shorts anytime. I can just wear underwear.
Yeah, my buddy Richard said balls. You got balls, man.
And I have really nice legs. I will admit it that I do. All the ladies, everybody, I got fucking thighs of steel. So it's okay then. I'm allowed to. I'm allowed to.
All right. So I guess my question. So I guess your answer is neither one of those was the influence on you for
no.
For okay.
No.
Or it could have been. It could have been going back to Cheech and Chong. He wore those shorts in like
yes, he did.
Next movie.
Yep. That's great, man. That's great. I love it.
Anyway, I just thought I'd
thanks, man.
Have a little fun.
Hey, I like to go back to it. It's just, you know, like, I mean, I love music so much. Like I listen to all kinds of genres, weird shit. I love fucking, you know, Bobby Brown. I love Tangerine Dream. I love Yes. I love, you know, I like old Cannibal Corpse. I like, you know, I like all kinds of shit, man. New wave, everything, right? Right. I ended up just going through this phase for a bit because that's just part of your musical growing, anyways. And just during that time was all mushrooms like crazy, and it opened my eyes, and I realized things and all this stuff. It's pretty crazy, man. Stunt sack.
There we go. All right, here's. Goddamn, I wish men still dress like this. Holy shit.
I do dress like this. So there you go.
There you go. Yeah, that wasn't like 20 years ago. That was like 2 weeks ago, probably.
That was at least I think it was 5 years ago when we shot that short film. Human Cattle. So if you want to go on there, Human Cattle, there's actually a scene in there where it's actually my real balls.
Okay.
Yeah, just stick it out the bottom. Just stick it out the bottom.
In the day of screenshots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you can screenshot your balls in there.
Well, you can because it's on YouTube.
Exactly.
It's great. We love making horror movies, man, and we love making them cheesy. We love making them fucking All
right, perfect segue. All right, let's sit back and everybody, let's sit back and watch this real quick. Everybody.
That was like the first death metal show that I ever went to over in Niagara Falls, New York, and right after that, changed my life.
I think we all have our roots in the same place.
It's just like any band, you know, you got a couple guys together from high school, you try to figure it out.
First started out, we were just a bunch of dumb kids.
Just headbang and play, you know?
So fucking evil and mean and nasty.
Meanwhile, you're trying to travel America and play your death metal for everybody, but yet you're also trying to like keep a job.
We're not making a living out of this. We still have jobs.
That chug just brought it to light.
Like unrelenting. It's just, you know, boundary pushing.
Yeah, death metal is not going to be played on the radio.
When I do a record, it's just the most important thing in the world to me.
A social network before the internet, you know, people writing letters to each other, exchanging demos and recordings, live tapes, flyers, fanzines. You know, that was the way you had to find out about new bands.
And there was a close-knit kind of brotherhood and sisterhood, especially with the tape traders.
It's a force. It's more than just a musical genre.
I didn't stop doing it because other people felt uninspired or maybe didn't want to, because I still felt the fire.
growls and blast beats and breakdowns and all that fun gurgling.
Freedom to play heavy music any way you want.
Such an extreme form of music and of art has become such a universal thing.
If you're a death metal band, you sing about gore, horror movies, or Satanism, and that's it.
A lot of people didn't think death metal was going to last years ago, and it's still going strong. It's probably stronger now than ever.
Nobody can take that away from us, and I'm pretty proud of that.
I can't imagine life without doing this.
Boom.
There it is.
Oh man, that fucking trailer, dude.
Did you put that together?
Phil, my partner, Rabbit Dog.
Oh
Films,
yeah,
Phil
Patterson.
He's the man. Holy shit,
that's
the
a
guy's
really, really good trailer.
Sweet, thank you, thank you,
Yeah,
Phil.
yeah. That Phil, I know you're in the in the comments earlier. That's a good. That's you see trailers and you're like, whatever. But that one was done well, and it like fuck, I want to see this.
Thank you.
So
right on, man.
That's everybody's intent, I guess, when you make a trailer to
hope.
lure people in, right? So hey,
yeah,
good, definitely good job on that. So it looks great and it sounds great. So right I mean, why the documentary? Why just what made you say, hey, let's fucking do this?
So I mean, Phil and I, we both attend a lot of horror conventions and Comic Cons and all that kind of stuff too, right? Just because, we had some affiliation with some magazines and here and there, and Phil made a bunch of movies back in the day too. Actually here, where is it? So he made this wicked fucking zombie movie, Versus the Dead.
Nice.
Exhumed is in it, Integrity is in it, Zyklon B is in it, and all this stuff. So this was before I even met Phil. This is crazy grindhouse zombie movie. So him and I both attending conventions all the time. Eventually, became one, and we were like, okay, you're doing stuff, I'm doing stuff. Let's do it together and let's fucking kill it. So a friend of ours, he works a distribution company out of Toronto, and he's at all the conventions also. So I approached him, checking out the selections and everything, and they put out all kinds of cool, like underground kind of cool shit. They put out the Thor documentary. They put out some Vakken documentaries, and a bunch of horror movies and just underground stuff. So I was like, hey man, like, have you heard anything about a death metal documentary or anything? Like, everybody's doing black metal. Everyone's doing, George just did Slave to the Grind a couple years ago or whatever. The grindcore one came out, Doug Brown. And so I was like, nobody's done a death metal one yet, right? He's kind of sitting back and he's like, you're actually right. I haven't heard anything from anybody. So I was like, well, if we put something together, do you think you guys would be interested in collaborating? He's like, well, let me talk with some of the guys and see what happens. And then a few days later, he was like, actually, yes, why don't we do that now? Because nobody has really sunk hard, mainstream other than, Cannibal Corpse doing their thing or whatever. But where's that documentary for them? And I was like, okay, well then let's get started. So then that was it pretty much.
Yeah, that's actually, let me pull this up. This is who is Phil responsible for this?
Phil is responsible for our look, our everything, man. Like he's
that's awesome, man.
Yeah. So Rabbit Dog, I mean, we're just, we're B movie guys. We love grindhouse, we love, cheap horror movies and all that kind of stuff. But between him and I, man, we can fucking pull off some pretty crazy shit. So, we're doing short movies, we're doing these little horror sketches and everything like that. So then I was Phil is an old school metalhead. He's an old school punk rocker, a hardcore guy, everything. Yeah. So I was like, Phil, we already got Rabbit Dog going or whatever after a few of our other projects. So I was like, what do you think of this death metal documentary? We can get, maybe we'll see what banger guys are doing and all this other stuff. Let's get the buzz going. We know the people. Let's do it. So we just started because we got equipment and we know that we got the resources. So let's just go. Let's just do it. So that's what we're doing.
Hell yeah. So I mean, when I first heard like the name, I heard about a movie coming out, I thought, well, is this going to be about like death metal vocals or what's it about? But no, it seemed like it was going to be about that. But then I saw the trailer, I'm like, oh, okay, it's going to cover, tape trading and you name it. So you want to speak a little bit about what the content is going to be in the film?
Right. So obviously, like the growl, which is the vocal style, right? So one of the questions we ask is like, who do you think started that aggressive, deep vocal style, right? We all, possessed. Everyone's got possessed. Everyone's got venom. Everyone's got that kind of stuff. But when did that first person all of a sudden just decide to go, ooh, and get really low, kind of thing? So that was.
So let's answer that. Let's answer that. Who do you think? I haven't answered.
Right. So a lot of people said. A lot of people said, Chris Barnes, right? No. Cannibal Corpse and all that kind of stuff. But still, that was later. That was 90s.
Way later.
Kind of, right? So, and again, you're a UK hardcore guy yourself, man. So there was a lot of bands that were doing things like that then. I mean, look at Carcass back. Look at fucking Reek. Yeah. Look at the demos, man. Like, there was no vocals. Look at Napalm. Look at those vocals, man. Nobody was growling in fucking 86, 87, man. Like, or 87 at least. And so I would say like Lee Dorian kind of thing.
Okay. I'd go back further than that. I'd say, and maybe it's to me, Cam Lee on the early Mantis Death demos. Roar! Right. I mean,
yeah, true.
To me, as far as what do y'all think? Y'all comment. What do y'all think? Do y'all think it was or who do y'all think was kind of was the first? But yeah, Jeff Becerra. I consider possessed like death metal,
Oh, totally.
Hellhammer, like, well, maybe not growls or anything like that, but right. I always go back to to Cam Lee. Was I around in '83? No, but I know for a fact I've heard him on rehearsals go,
he's doing some sort of Cookie Monster.
Yes, he is. So,
totally, man. And same with Killjoy.
Oh yeah, exactly.
There's another one throwing some weird fucking vocals in, man. Like
early on, yeah.
Stuff that just nobody was doing at that time, right? So it was, so we're looking at that too, right? Like, when is that actual family tree timeline? So we're gonna point that out. We're gonna obviously talk with people and who they think, and talk with some of the masters and what they think and stuff. So we're try. We're not gonna say who specifically, but we just want to be like, here's from the history. Here's legit history.
Yeah.
But then obviously
from the horse's mouth, right?
Exactly. But then also tackle everything else that came with that whole scene too, right? Of everybody doing the tape trading and everyone doing fanzines and putting on little basement shows and fucking stupid little dive bars and all this kind of stuff, right? So, we want to get into all that too, because it's the underground, man. It's everybody knows about the top tier bands, but what happened before they were the top tier bands?
Exactly.
Where were they hanging out? Where were they recording? Where were they jamming? Who was the guy who was Brian Pattison, who was doing these radio shows at the time when there was no fucking network really, other than just a couple letters here and there.
No, we had our own underground radio shows here that were highly influential.
You had Wes Weaver.
Rest in peace, Wes.
R.I.P. man. Totally.
Yeah.
And I've, again, Facebook is a beautiful thing, and connected with him on there and realized who he was after chatting with him here and there. And it was like, holy fuck, man, this guy, he's bringing to light the shit back in the late 80s, early 90s stuff.
Yeah, man. It's, to me, that's, for anybody out there, like you said, that's interested in, because there's stuff about documentaries about everything, but you're right, nothing's ever been done about the underground scene, the whole. People talk about it in interviews and this and that, but there's never been anything like formal. I don't want to say formal, but nothing on video.
True. Yeah, that's true. No, totally, man. Because it is done by us. We're the fans. We're the guys. We've been there. We've done that kind of thing. So it's pretty much just like a death metal band. We're just doing it out of passion. We just do it because we love it or whatever.
Right.
But we know we have the potential to hook a few people in just
Right.
because we're getting so raw and underground and so, so deep into some things or whatever that people just would not normally have thought about, right?
Yeah, I mean, and just by looking at the trailer, you've got some pretty important and influential people, that took part in it. So that doesn't hurt. You know what I mean?
At all. And we've gotten some crazier shit since then too. So I mean,
Yeah, and
the trailer's like a year already, man. Fuck. Or
yeah, because
sorry.
John McAtee
Yeah.
didn't have the white wizard beard or anything.
Holy shit. Yeah, he blew up with that one, man. That was great. That's cool.
Yeah, but so these interviews, I mean, logistically, how did you handle that?
I did it all myself. I contacted everybody, just like what we would do back in the day, man. If you wanted to get a hold of somebody, you would just start writing and just connecting with whoever is involved with somehow, somewhere, or whatever, and just fucking reach out, man. Because a lot of people, which is, again, like you said, they're only a few years older than us, maybe 4,
Right.
5, 6 years tops, kind of thing. They're just regular dudes, also that now are just hanging out online, and you can connect through their website and just send them an email, and it's usually one of the guys in the band, kind of thing, right? So
Yeah.
it's just a matter of, hey man, we're making a documentary. We have some distribution when it's all done.
Yeah.
We have a couple of these bands or whatever involved. Would you be interested? And then all of a sudden it just started snowballing after that. And I mean, I've been involved, same with you, like over 30 years now, man. So
Yeah.
we kind of, I'm not going to say we have a name, but at least we can kind of name drop on a few old school things that it's like, okay, well, this guy's got some, some clout. So let's listen to
Yeah.
him and see what he says.
Right,
Kinda,
right. And so did you fly anywhere? Or did you just wait for them to
Nope.
come to town and
Yeah, we just cruised at least, Montreal is 8 hours. We're supposed to go to Ohio. Well, we had all this planned before we got locked down, but to finish off, we were supposed to go to Ohio, go hang out with, see what the guys at Hell's and Balmer, Redefining Darkness, and Thomas, and all those guys, right? And just kind of, get a little Ohio, because it's relatively close. It's like 4 hours away.
Yeah.
Supposed to go to Pennsylvania, so we can go sit down with like Sharon Derketa and Jill Funeris and get that kind of stuff. And then Quebec Death Fest was supposed to happen, so Cam Lee was going to come back down because Massacre's doing their thing, and then Fred Etzby, we're supposed to sit down with Fred again from Dismember.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we went to New York, and that's where we got the Malignancy and the Chris from Internal Bleeding and Will Romer in New York for one of the Death Fests there with Cephalotripsy and Guttural Secrete and all these other bands. But anyways, so yeah, we did some traveling, but we didn't really fly anywhere just because it's all coming out of my pocket, man. And Phil's time, and it's Phil's time. So whatever we can do, we're obviously going to try. We did a little Indiegogo 2 years ago. We made a couple bucks, but we didn't kill it, so it didn't give us a chance to really be able to fly anywhere. But
I got you.
Yeah. So we're kind of just we're just doing what we can with what we have.
Yeah. So the people that you decided you're going to interview, I mean, was it intentional? Did you say I'm going to pick these people for a specific reason, or how did the list of people you're going to interview, how'd that come about?
I guess kind of like I'm starting to figure out the thread of the movie and how it's going to play out and how it's going to be edited and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to start with my base like here with the Buffalo guys and the Toronto guys and stuff like that. So we're going to sit down with David of Baphomet. We're going to sit down with the guys from Grotesque Infection, or at least Russ or whatever, and kind of show some of the Buffalo, Niagara Falls, and Rochester roots that, that's what I grew up with, is all these bands over there. So I want to start like there. But then the rest of the guys, obviously we all have our ideas of, who we think should be included, or how some people are still in touch that are still personal on those levels. And I obviously, like, John McEntee, the guy's just like, you can fucking get a hold of him like anytime. Like, this is just a great guy.
It was on my show.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, that's what I mean, man. He's just there with us. He's still a fan, right?
Yeah.
And so I wanted to make sure that whoever was involved with all the interviews that we got were just straight up cool people that are interested in hanging out with us and doing this thing. Because as much as there's a couple rock star attitudes that are out there, but there's still the legends that we want to maybe hear some things.
Yeah.
If you don't get a hold of me, then I guess you're not in it. That's kind of what it comes down to.
And I know you're prepared for it, but you can't possibly interview if people are like, well, what about so and so? Well, you can't interview everybody. You only have so much time. So I think everybody knows that. So I remember when that American Hardcore movie out. Well, they didn't include this and that. Well, you can only include so many.
Come on, exactly, man. And you're never gonna please everybody.
No,
but I'm just but I think from just a fan point of view, with who we have on there and just how we are personally, we're fans. We still love hanging out. We still like getting involved with shows and doing whatever we can. That if you're gonna feel that from us. So you're gonna get comfortable and you're gonna have a good interview and all this kind of stuff. So people, but it comes back to, are you gonna respond to me and are you gonna listen to me, or are you not gonna say anything? But if you are, then you're fit.
Yeah, I've messaged plenty of people about coming on here talking to me, and sometimes they reply, sometimes they don't. What are you gonna do?
Exactly, right? There's only so many times that you can push somebody for questions and answers, and if they just don't get back, then you don't care. Whatever, man.
Yeah, and I knew having you on here, I would have no problem with you, talking.
Man, we haven't even touched the surface on anything, dude.
No,
seriously, man.
Fraser asked, "What are you looking forward to anything?" But I want to add to that. Did you have you been nervous, or did you geek out on any of them yet?
Who did I geek out on? Shit. I'm gonna say Tom G. And Jeff Becerra. It's kind of like,
I didn't know that. I didn't know you talked to them.
Yeah. We ended up the Quebec Death Fest. They ended up doing the 2 years ago or whatever. That was the last one, and I got a hold of everybody. I found everybody, and everybody replied back. So as soon as we got there, I'm just texting with Jeff, and I'm fucking texting with Jeff right now. Like, this is kind of crazy, right? So then he's like, yeah, just meet us at my hotel and blah, blah, blah. Here's the floor. We'll meet you up there, right? So then I obviously whoever was with me, I was like, we're going up, and holy fuck, and he's just sitting right there. And then he was like, it was just such a cool dude. Like, it was fucking great. And same with Tom G. It took a little bit with Tom to kind of, to make him comfortable, because I mean, just like any interview, you're gonna get the majority just asking the usual questions. So you're just waiting to fucking answer the usual question kind of stuff, right? Yeah. So then, first couple questions, obviously, let's get the ball rolling, and who are you, and why Hellhammer, Southern Frost, blah blah blah. Let's get into the origins of you guys, but then let's start talking after. Let's get like, hey man, like, you guys, you started introducing some sort of epic orchestral things and getting into some stuff and all this, and so he started going off about his influences and how weird some music he likes and stuff. So, and then he started coming out afterwards. So I was like, whew. And then by the end of it, after the interview was done, we were just like, yeah man, Emerson, Lake and Palmer rule. He's like, holy shit, I love Emerson, Lake and Palmer, man. And then it was just like, and then we were all just best buds after. It's crazy, man.
Going back to earlier, we talked about good advice. So tell somebody, don't ever quit. And I always bring up to people, a lot of cool things will happen. I mean, it may be nothing to somebody, but like for you and me, example, if we get to talk to Tom Warrior or get you're fucking texting with Jeff Becerra. I mean, back when you were 14 years old, I mean, your fucking mind would be blown. You know what I mean? So if you stick around, cool shit's gonna happen. Dude,
man, and I've been a fucking hustler this whole time, man. Whether I've been, in a band, putting on shows, doing a radio show, helping with fanzines, working for some magazines, like just promoting, doing something, right? But eventually, like you said, man, it's gonna kind of catch up, and you know, your stay is totally.
Everybody wants that shit overnight. It's not gonna happen.
Ever, man. I see a few people, man, and you know, some of them on our friends lists and blah blah blah, and it's just like, dude, like, relax, man. You're like, unfortunately, you're nobody right now. Nothing against you, nothing against anything that you're doing, and we love that you're, you know, welcome to our scenes and welcome to the underground and all that kind of stuff. But you know, just because you've been in it, you've been at it for 5 years or 10 years, and you did this or did a little bit of that, like, yeah, man, just you keep fucking going, man. If you love it that much, it's not going to matter. You just do it.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, don't look for anything. Just do it because you want to do it. You know what I mean?
Because you just want to do it, man. I love this shit. I love this shit.
If nobody's watching, you and I are still going to be talking. You know what I mean?
I don't care. Exactly. We're talking we're talking music that you grew up with, I grew up with, and I'm assuming there's a few people out there that are watching or whatever. But like, it's just it's so connective, and and it's like we've been buds, and we've never personally met.
Right. We live parallel lives. You know what I mean? And I mention this all the time. This only happens in the underground, like extreme music scene. You know what I mean? Meeting people from all over the world and becoming friends with people all over the world through this scene. You know what I mean?
It's crazy, man. It's so weird. Yeah, exactly. And you'll remember those people from those weird cities or towns or whatever like that, right? Yeah, man. I fucking love it. I mean, I like a lot of people that I bring up. It was like, I remember writing to you, you know, back in the day and blah, blah, blah. I was like, you know, I'm Cam from Niagara Falls, Canada. They're like, oh man, there was only like you and maybe 2 or 3 other people that I actually kind of corresponded with. So I totally remember you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great. It's great.
I've had a couple questions, or a couple of people already asked, but any idea on? Obviously, you don't know. But,
no.
You know what I mean. You know where I'm getting at. When it's going to be
there's no
available?
idea, man.
Yeah.
I have no clue, man. Because, like I said, we're still compiling footage. We were supposed to be somewhat finished shooting last September, and that was with the border open and us getting the travels and doing what we had to do to get the rest of it. But yeah, man, we're fucked. This sucks ass, man. We're trying to include everybody, and you know, where it's not just a sausage party. So we're, you know, we have that side of it also, and you know, we got to bring the females in, man. Like I got, you know, Lori from Toronto, and then the girl, you know, Derkata and Funerus, and like we still have interviews we got to get done. And like I said, man, we were supposed to start going out in May, June, start tripping around, get the rest of the stuff September, Quebec Death Fest, finish everybody off there. And then done. But
you mentioned females. I remember whenever I started going to shows, like when I was in high school, you might see 2 or 3 at a show.
Right.
And but now in Houston, I don't know what it's like there. I mean, a huge portion of the crowd is females nowadays. So that's something else that's happened. Yeah. So
no, we're still a sausage fest, but there is more girls though.
But I will say that about Houston, man. There's a lot of you'll see a good amount of females at like underground shows.
That's awesome, man. It's supposed to be that way, man.
Yeah, so it's just amazing how things have evolved over the last 30-something years, you know?
Yeah. Literally, man, there was usually like one girl back in the day at the show. Yeah. Or it was like the girlfriends of the band members kind of thing, right?
Yeah, helping them load in or something, you know what I mean? and now they're like, now they're in bands and they're fucking, you know, doing all and go to the shows, and
it's awesome, man. It should be
in the pit and all that shit, you know.
It should be, man. Everybody loves this music. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know if you thought about it or not, or maybe you have, but will there be any type of soundtrack with this?
I've been thinking about that too, right? Because I mean, a lot of the music we're trying to get, we're trying to work with a lot of the band's independent releases, because there are a lot of bands out there that kind of just drifted off and did their own thing for a
Right.
few, right? Some of
Yeah.
those, some of those big bands, they went from Century Media, they did their own thing, or Nuclear Blast, they did their own thing. So there's a couple bands out there that we're gonna try to keep within those eras.
Yeah.
And do something. But yeah, with like a lot of the older shit, again, with my Buffalo roots and all that stuff, we're definitely gonna fucking make a soundtrack with a lot of those bands, at least, because we've been releasing that stuff with CDN records, right, on tapes and CDs,
Right.
and all that kind of shit. So we have permission from all those old school guys to be like, do whatever the fuck you want from this stuff. So
Yeah.
for them to be included in, say, like a soundtrack,
Yeah.
no question, man. But yeah, I've honestly thought about it in the background, again, with my marketing side and business side of it all. It's like, why wouldn't you want to have all these bands that are, somewhat showcased in this movie to have its
exactly.
own tape or vinyl or whatever it is, right? So, for
Yeah, that'd
sure,
be cool.
man.
That'd be
Oh,
cool.
for sure.
I figured you would. I really hadn't heard you speak on it, so
Yeah.
I thought I'd bring it up. All right, so something else you've been doing lately. You want to talk about the T-shirt printing and all that?
Yeah, okay. My buddy Daryl, I've known him again through the horror movie conventions. He's always had Twisted Tees merch company, so he's been doing horror shirts and band shirts and all this kind of stuff. So he was based out of London, Ontario. That's like an hour and 40 minutes from here, but going to the conventions all the time, we became really good friends. I met him through one of my old high school friends, who is now a 27 Guinness Book World Record holder, him and his partner. So our buddy Pepper Klopek introduced me to Daryl. I was like, 17 years ago, or roughly, at one of the conventions. He's like, hey, this is a T-shirt guy, and he's hanging out and all this stuff, and it's awesome, right? So we became good friends right away. And then I started helping him at all the conventions all the time, because it was him and his wife. And then I'd be like the third wheel. And, if they had to do their own thing, I could man the table and, and run the merch for them and stuff like that. So
yeah,
always trying throughout the years to try to help them out, try to get them some business, try to, get some new businesses or bands or something like that to go to my friend, because his shirts are quality. His shit's quality. So it wasn't until, when websites started kicking and everything like that, we kept trying. And then all of a sudden he's got some new offers kicking on the table, and he's like, would you be interested in bringing in, some of the guys that because you know a few people in the scene. I was like, dude, let's do it. So it took a while for us to coordinate, because he's wicked busy. He's always busy anyways. So it took a while to coordinate. He's about still, again, an hour and 40 minutes from me in another town. So got together, and I was like, okay, man, like I'm telling you right now, I just want you to be ready, because I know a lot of bands, I know a lot of people, I know a lot of movie guys, I know whatever, man. And if you want sales, I will get you sales ASAP. So it literally was like, okay, he's like, literally, okay, here's the access to the website, here's how we do it, here's how you put the back end together, the store, blah 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 blah. I go, okay, done. And literally 2 or 3 weeks later, he's like, I'm only one guy, you need to relax. I was like, dude, but I'm going to give people like this service. Like, everybody loves merch. Everybody loves not having to deal with the merch, but, getting a cut off it also on the side. So we do direct to garment printing, which is, right off of a fucking beautiful printer, which is the new school nowadays. Instead of screen printing, he still does that, but, direct to garment is kind of the new the new thing that's going around right now. So, I was able to start putting together, hey, you Buffalo guys, we're already doing CDN record stuff. We're already putting your stuff out on tape and CD and everything. Do you mind if we put out a couple designs on shirts, and it's not going to cost you anything, and we'll send you your cut after? And they're just like, yeah, sure, blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, hey, Baphomet's interested, and oh, hey, Massacre's interested, and oh, hey, Thanatos is interested, and oh, Mortuary Mexico is interested. I'm like, okay, all right, okay. Let's do this, man. So that's kind of what's happening.
where does one go for to see all the shirts you have available or whatever?
Twisted Tees merch. So twistedtsmerch.com.
Twisted
and it's all on there, man. Twisted Tees merch. And you go on there and you start, navigating through some of the tabs and all that kind of stuff, and then boom, you'll see death metal. You'll see massacre. We're getting the store up soon. Mortuary's going up soon, and then just go to the death metal one where we're dealing with Impetigo and Baphomet and Disgorged and Frightmare and Blood Freak, and was just hey man, I just want to work with cool, good fucking people, man, because this is our scene. I'm already planted, and I love everybody that's involved, and I just want to work with all you guys, man. Like I just want to hang out, man, and it keeps us connected, and that's what I want the most, man. I want to be able to just be like, hey, Cam Lee, man, what do you think of this design? Oh fuck, dude, this is great, and blah blah blah. I just want to talk and hang out with everybody, man, because we just love talking about this shit. That's why you're doing these interviews, because it just gives us reason to just hang out and just be buds.
Right, exactly. So it's twistedtsmerch.com.
Yep. That's it.
All right, here we go. Hold on. All right, there it is. twistedtsmerch.com right there. So if anybody needs to go, you can probably
twistedtsmerch.com. Yeah.
That's it. Yep. So if you want to see what kind of shirts he's got going, and I know you're doing horror movies and bands and all that shit, so
totally, man. And yeah, it's just shit we love, man. We love fucking VHS. We love bad demo tape recordings, and that's just what we're doing.
Wait, you made a rat shirt?
Oh, like shh. No, that's secret stuff.
Oh,
that's
okay.
Secret stuff.
All right, so we've been going at this for a little while, but I still want you to talk about, if you don't mind, talk about
keep going,
some of your Canadian stuff that makes you want to jam out all badass.
Okay. So I put on a show back in the day. Let's see, where's here?
All right, hold on. Let me get you solo layout there, buddy. All right.
Okay. So this was my first show that I ever put on, and my connection with the Buffalo guys and all that stuff. So right there, Mangled. That was the band. So this was the first show I ever played.
Okay.
And I just, from seeing all the bands playing in Buffalo and just at little bars and just little shitholes and kind of stuff. Yeah. So I was like, I could do that, man. Like I'm starting to talk with some fanzine guys and some band dudes and whatever like that. So I just started, mailing everybody and then messaging, give me your phone number so I can call you because I'd like to put a show on. I know you're somewhat, let's see, Demonacy was probably the farthest American dudes. Yeah. So Demonacy is New Jersey. They're about 8 hours away. So it was literally just like, we're doing this show. Demonacy knows the Grotesque Infection guys. So let's get a show together. Let's try to figure this out. And I don't know, man. It was as simple as that. I just wanted to do something. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Some of your favorite, some of the
Canadian bands. Right. Okay.
I haven't seen you smoke anything yet either. So
no.
I'm fucking worried.
I'm just well, we got let's see, some 40 Creek barrel whiskey.
There you go.
That's what's happening right now. But anyways,
I got
so Inbred, they're from Oshawa, which is about 4 hours away. Massification, they're from Ingersoll, Ontario, which is about 2.5 hours. Nailed were from Oshawa, also. Gastric Pus, they're from Toronto. And Catharsis, they didn't end up coming out to the show. There was some other shit going on, but they turned into a hardcore band called Jaw later on. But I was in contact with the Gastric Pus guys just because they were Toronto, so there was some sort of connection. I had a friend with who did a zine called do I even have it? No, I don't. It was called Cheese Grinder. Our buddy Darren, he was in this band called Monster Voodoo Machine, which ended up touring with Ozfest and all this other stuff too. So he was a Toronto guy. That was our good friends, and so connections. But Oshawa had Inbred, and that fucking demo, I swear to God, like they only put this out, and it's the heaviest fucking thing. It's so I don't know. It's just so weird, and there's just something about it. But Inbred, I'm gonna say, is one of those. And let's see, I got the Massification demo right there too.
Cover and everything.
Yeah, totally. Especially back then too, right?
Exactly. That's why I said that.
I know something like that. You're like, ooh, high quality, right?
Yeah, exactly. Holy shit.
But then this came in the mail, right?
Turn it a little bit. What is it?
Cryptopsy.
Cryptopsy. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. All right.
Yeah. So that's the Ungentile Exhumation demo. When that came in, all of a sudden, to me, Montreal just blew up for me, man. It was obviously Gorguts and Cryptopsy and Cataclysm were like Purulence, another one too. But yeah, for Canadian stuff, and then this weird one too, Morecambe.
Never heard of that.
Where is that?
Morecambe, M-O-R. Yeah, I see.
Yeah. So again, I got him on a tape trade. It was on with a bunch of other randoms, demo stuff. And this one band stuck out, and I got this like handwritten a track listing to the whole thing. I ended up losing the track listing, so I forgot the band, I forgot everything. But I knew there was the band Morecambe. I just didn't know how to spell it. And it turns out that this label, Hatros Records, out of Montreal, ended up putting out a bunch of old school early 90s demo death metal shit, like just weird rare shit. And I seen Morecambe pop up, and I was like, is this fucking, like, I need to hear this Morecambe band, can you send me a link or whatever? Boom, it was the same band, same demo, and I was like, holy shit, like I need to order everything that you have on your label right now. And it's all Canadian, it's all Montreal, like old death metal shit.
Crazy.
Fucking just dude, it's such a cool scene. It's such a small scene too, because I mean death metal wasn't huge in Canada, at least. You had, Victoria had Infernal Majesty, or BC had Infernal Majesty, this grindcore band Tumult.
Yeah,
it was just it was so sparse, like it there wasn't much out there. Let's see, did I even bring it down too? There's this other band, Casket. They were from Calgary also, and yeah, we didn't have much, man. There wasn't much at all. But I guess you just like everything because there was only maybe 20 demos out back in the day, kind of thing, right? Other than thrash and hardcore and punk and all that kind of stuff, but
I mean, you still
like straightforward death metal.
You had your bigger bands, but Buddy Richie says there's a Deeds of Flesh poster behind you. His friend Zig showing me that artwork while he was working on it.
Oh no shit! Path of the Weakening, man. That Deeds. I'm gonna say that's the last Deeds of Flesh that I really liked. Mark of the Legion came after that, and I started this. Man, I don't want to be, but I've been a music snob for too long. I've been I was one of those kids that was like, as soon as I knew what headphones were, I just wanted to be planted in front of the radio or record or whatever it was, and I need to listen to whatever this is, right? So stuff gets. You just start to notice when they start making, that there's that one album that all of a sudden it just doesn't sound like the rest of the albums, and then you lose interest, right? It's just like a lot of bands, right? There's always that last album, and then that's you don't care for the rest of the stuff. So Path of the Weakening, man, I remember I was doing the fanzine shit at the time, and I ended up getting that poster. And that fucking album is just, it crushes.
Yeah, the guy he's talking about, he's an artist. He's an artist from Austin.
Yeah, Zig. Yeah. He ended up he did one of my other favorite ones, She Lay Gutted by Disgorge. Fuck, man, that album's ridiculous. Again,
we have a couple 40 Creek fans in the house.
Fucking right, man. Good.
Erica and Phil.
Yeah. Oh, Phil especially, man. Ah, fuck. We always drink this shit when we're hanging out, man. This stuff's good. It's local Canadian stuff, man. It's literally brewed not even a half hour away from here.
Oh wow.
Yes. I mean,
Fraser wants to know if that's a pessimist flag behind you.
Yes, it is.
There it is.
Of course it is. Slaughtering the faithful. Where is that there? Can we see it? Yeah. Totally, man.
Aaron Serpentine. How do you pronounce that? Serpentine? Are they a Canadian band? Serpentine.
My eyes are fucking terrible. Serpentine. You know what?
I don't know who that is.
I don't know. Maybe.
Aaron's he's the guy that runs Goat Throne Records. You heard Goat Throne?
Okay. Yeah. Aaron Cuomos or whatever.
That's him.
Yeah.
Cuomos.
Yeah. Right on, man. Fucking right, dude. I fucking Goat Throne's the bomb. I wish I knew every band, man. I wish I knew all the fucking Canadian bands.
Oh,
it's hard to keep up, man.
Zig does vocals for that band, apparently.
Whoa. And they're a Canadian band?
No, I guess not. I guess he was just talking about since Zig did the artwork. He was just talking about Zig as in a band.
Zig does vocals.
Zig does vocals for that. Yeah, but for that band.
Whoa.
Serpentine.
Yeah. All right. I need to check this shit out then.
There you go. So you learned something on this fucking show.
Wow. I love it, man. And that's why I like doing this documentary, man, because I never claim I'm not the guy. I don't know everything. I don't have every fucking demo. I don't have every fanzine. I just like you, man. We just love this shit, and whatever happens to come our way, that's what happens or whatever. Yeah. So we never claim to be the guys, and we don't want to be, it's Cam that fucking does a documentary. He knows everything. I don't know fucking fuck all. And I just love doing this shit, and I love hanging out with everybody, and it's just fun, man.
I don't know what this means. Where's my $50?
I owe $50?
Yeah, Phil says you owe him $50.
Oh no. I don't even know why though. Why the fuck do I owe you $50? Oh shit. Damn, I'm gonna hear about it after this then.
Yeah. Well, man, it's been a fucking blast, dude. I've had a real fucking good time.
I love it, man.
So I'm glad
we haven't even touched a lot of stuff too, man. Like we've been
going 2 fucking hours now. So
I can fucking blab about this shit all night. Yeah, we didn't even touch on horror movies, man.
Yeah, I know. There's always a second go around, especially when you start getting closer to the, you start knowing about release dates or whatever. We'll definitely have to have you back on, to talk about that, because I'll be definitely supporting that film when it comes out. So
I love it, man, and let's support you too with what's going on with Cemeterian.
Oh well, actually, we're going to track vocals in 2 weeks from today, 2 weeks. We got a couple of splits coming out with Absconder and with Leprophiliac.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
So we're gonna begin tracking vocals on those. Just it's just like everybody else. It's just been slow.
Yeah, totally.
For obvious reasons. So
did Dave come in after the band has already been together?
Correct. Yeah, Dave came in. He actually came in to help us on a live show on bass, like our first live show. And then we're like, "Fuck, let's just 2 guitars." And then we had asked our friend Charles to do bass, so turned into a 5-piece before we knew it. So.
Dave fucking's bringing riffs, dude. Holy shit!
He's actually, he'll be writing some stuff for this too. So
cool.
Which is fine with me because I'm used to writing like every fucking thing all the time. So.
Dude, I mean, you're posting videos of just riffs upon riffs, man. I don't know how you fucking do it. I love it, man. I checked. I'm like, holy fuck, that's riff rules.
I bleed fucking riffs, man. I don't know.
And what are you playing there? You're playing the Angus Young fucking guitar.
SG?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If you know me, I worship AC/DC. So I always wanted to have an SG ever since I was like 9 years old. You know what I mean? So
Are you
ended up
changing?
getting-
Are you changing pickups on that or anything?
No, that's a P90. That came with P90 pickups.
Okay.
Which is they weren't great for everything that I've done.
Right. How long have you had that
but
guitar?
oh, that one I got like 10 years ago.
Oh shit. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So I like it.
It's
I used to have
it's a top end heavy guitar though, isn't it?
actually this one's really light. Like all around. Yeah, it's not heavy at all. Thought it would be, but no.
Yeah,
I have an old BC wrench that's heavier.
What do you have?
It's just a cheap BC wrench. What is it, Rave or something like that? But for some reason, the pickup on it that came sounds fucking heavy. It's cheap as fuck, but it sounds great,
dude.
So
that's what's gonna give you the sound, though, man. That
I know.
Weird, obscure, cheap fucking pickup, man.
Yeah. But it sounds great. So
I love it.
I just keep using it. I mean, I'm not a fucking musician or a guitarist or anything like that. I just write riffs as you've noticed. So
I'm the same way too, man. Whenever I couldn't fucking noodle like solos and all that kind of shit, man. I'm just a good rhythm guy. And once in a while, some of my riffs, especially later on when I was doing, well, there's a new Coffin Rod out there now, but the original Coffin Rod, we played a couple shows in the late 90s or whatever. But yeah, man, I started getting the feel, and I started realizing, how to riff and how to, not stop and start all the time and that kind of thing. And yeah, man, I just like playing rhythm in the background, man. Just fucking good old riffs.
Yeah, I could play a lead if my life depended on it. I'd be dead.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a musician. I'm not highly skilled. I play things that end up sounding good somehow.
Exactly, man. Same way, dude. Same way, man.
So if I like it, then fuck it. Hey,
that's all you need.
Good enough. Good enough for me. I don't need. I always joke that some guys got like 8-string guitars. I need like 3.
I don't get it. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's like what's that? Presidents of the United States, right? That band. He ended up making his own guitar or bass or whatever. It was like 3 strings or something.
Yeah, well, Max Cavalera used to use 4.
Okay.
Yeah, he used 4.
Yeah. But what do you need any more for? Yeah.
I don't. I don't use them. Why do I need them?
I love it.
That's just something else I hit that make it sound worse. So But anyway, well, yeah. Thanks for asking though. I don't ever bring up, but yeah, Cemetery and stuff's on the way.
Good.
Got new shit coming out, and working on an album that'll be out.
Right on.
On Hell's Headbangers.
Oh shit! Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So splits and EPs is kind of that's how it's going lately.
The next thing is a split 7-inch and a split 12-inch.
Oh, at least you're getting on vinyl, man. I've never been on vinyl yet. That's
and
cool.
the same label. I got to plug my buddy Clay from Rescued from Life Records, who put out the Leprophiliac debut album.
Ooh.
He's from Fort Worth, so he's put out a lot of. Speaking of Dave, he put out PLF albums like over the years.
Oh shit, yeah. And that's Dave's band.
Yeah, PLF. Yeah, grindcore PLF. Yep.
Killer.
They're on that grindcore documentary. They like show a clip of them playing live for like 25 seconds or whatever. So.
Oh, right on. Beauty.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So I guess we can start wrapping it up. Are you gonna do the YouTube interviews anymore? Or the Facebook
I don't know, man. Like I said, man, we've been trying to. Those interviews were, I guess it was the time and place at the time or whatever. It was. I was aggressive just because of the shit that went down. I was pissed. Couldn't do anything with any of my friends, and we couldn't do any fucking anything. Couldn't do anything. So pushed those out or whatever, and kind of after that, some other things started kicking in because priorities, man. Like, I'm a stagehand and an entertainment worker, so literally we were the first to go.
Yeah.
All the shows, as soon as the fucking big shows started, we were supposed to we had the casino here, our new theater 5,000 seat theater. We were supposed to, the first shows were Alice Cooper and ZZ Top. We were supposed to do those shows. And then fucking boom, it was obviously COVID kicked, and then I was pissed because I was like, holy fuck, I'm gonna get it to work with fucking Cooper. I mean, I might not meet the guy, but at least I'm fucking setting up a stage or setting up lights or setting up something, right? And same with ZZ Top, man. Fucking
Billy
Texas
fucking
guy.
Gibbons.
Yeah, totally, right?
Yeah.
Totally. So we ended up doing those for a bit, but then, I got to figure out how I'm going to make money. Is our work going to come back anytime soon? And is our assistance going to get fucking cut off before anything's even open and all this shit? So obviously my head's spinning, trying to do a million things. And then the merch stuff comes in, we're still doing a couple of music videos on the side. We've actually been pretty busy, Rabid Dog Films, during this whole pandemic of putting out some cool shit. But interview wise, unfortunately, they're not going to be, I'm not going to do as many as they were because, they were good at the time, but I do want to leave a lot of shit for the documentary itself. Right.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
So that's kind of where our head is at with that stuff, So interview wise, and we still might have a couple here and there, but it's not going to be as crazy as it was.
Awesome. Well, I guess we'll end it on that. Want to thank everybody for tuning in, man. It was cool. I had a blast. Hopefully you guys had a blast. I knew it'd be entertaining having Cam on here to shoot the shit and, talk about whatever.
Super fun. Super fun.
Yeah. So I guess there's only one thing left to do, brother. Let's jam out All Badass. Oops. Anyway, appreciate everybody joining us. Share, like, share, all that crap. Tell everybody about the show, Rabid Dog Films, growlmovie.com, the t-shirt, Twisted TS merch.com, all that stuff. Check out Jamming All Badass on Instagram. Tell everybody about the show, share the videos, all that crap. Again, thank you very much. I appreciate it. We will see y'all on Wednesday with Mike fucking Browning.